Today we travel to the Baltic region of Northern Europe to the country of Estonia, which is host to the top BMX park competition in the world. Athletes from around the planet come to this location to compete in this unique event in what might seem the most unlikely of locations. This is a land comprised of castles, churches, and hilltop fortresses. It is also the modern setting for a course that will produce big airs and tricks ranging from 540 tail whips to bar spins, alley-oops, and even a caveman. Yes, a caveman. This is Simple Session, and you're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Hey everybody, Soundmaster Kelly here, your host of the Red Bull Signature Series, and allow me to welcome you to Tallinn, Estonia. Where is that, Sal? Well, it's just across the Baltic Sea and the Gulf of Finland from Helsinki, and it was once a strategic part of the former Soviet Union. It's bordered just to the east. Now, a part of the European Union since 2004, this rapidly developing country of 1.3 million is the host to this unique event we call Simple Session. It's an event that began as a local competition, has now grown into the premier BMX event on the planet, and it draws the very best in BMX street and park riders, along with fans from around the world. We're at a brand new venue, the Tandaraba Arena, and this course design should really allow these riders to push themselves, as we saw in qualifications. The name for you to pay attention to, Drew Bezanson. He has dominated here, winning every year that he's entered, three-peating from 2010 to 2012. An injury sidelined him in 2013, but he came back in 2014 and smashed his way to victory. The veteran Ryan Nyquist also here and showing no signs of slowing down, qualifying in the 4th position. You might remember him winning Red Bull Dreamline just last fall, which is the biggest BMX dirt competition of the year. Our final is underway, so we're gonna check in with Todd Harris and the man, Chris Doyle.
All right, thank you very much, Sal. Excited to get going here in Estonia. Here's how it's going to go down. 6 heats with 4 riders per heat, 2 runs plus they get the best trick. And Chris, it's all average on a score from 1 to 100. So you do have some time to get out there and express yourself, but you got to make the most once you get on this amazing course. Now, what are the judges exactly looking for from each of these riders?
Well, today, Todd, the riders will be judged on variety, execution, difficulty, amplitude, use of course, and most importantly, flow and style.
The very best of the best have traveled halfway around the world to Estonia to participate in Simple Session as we take a look at this course animation.
An excellent course we have here today, designed and built by Mr. Nathan Wessel. It has everything that the modern BMX bike rider could want. It's got box jumps, it's got rails, it's got blocks, it's got just about everything you could possibly want. These guys are going to be going off on this course here today.
Can't wait to get things started. Before we get to the actual competition, let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew. Here is Corbin Harris.
Thanks, Todd. I caught up with Drew Bezanson earlier, and he wishes the course was bigger like last year. Despite that, yesterday he had some of the best runs in qualifying and ended up in the #1 position coming into the final today. He's won 4 of them. Can he make it 5? Another one to look out for is the most decorated athlete in BMX history, at least one of them. It's Ryan Nyquist, and he's one of my favorite. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. More from Corbin as we take a look at the leaders currently after heats 1 through 3. Colton Walker of the USA leads the way. Andreev of Russia in 2nd, and Brock Railford, another American, currently sitting in 3rd place. Let's take you through a little recap of what happened for the first 3 heats, and it has been fantastic. Starting things off, first off, with Alex Kennedy.
Yes, sir. Alex Kennedy is one of the most original technical street riders out there right now. Check it out. 180 toothpick bonk, 180 around, opposite 3 onto the stage. One-footed nose wheelie up and on that quarter right there, over toothpick coming out of the nollie. Then check this out. Opposite feeble, regular feeble, 180. Like I said, technical all the way from Alex Kennedy. Brock Rayford is up. First competition with a mustache on his face. There's that bar spin, ice pick grind, super consistent. 360 toboggan, up the step up. Tooth hanger to 180, picture perfect. Up, double peg, super big, hard 360 out of the rail. Hand plant on the vert wall, up and over the box jump. Just cruising out here today. Next up, coming in from Russia, Kostya Andreev. This guy is super technical, has all the jumping tricks you could possibly want. 360 tail up over the transition box. A little bit of a transfer right there. Over the box jump backwards. 360 no-hander. Up on the vert wall, eyes on the box jump. 360 tail whip, bar spin to no-hander. Absolutely insane. 3-hit combo in a 360. Coming back at the box jump. 360 bar spin, no-hander to a late bar spin. Just out here crushing it. Doing it for the homeland, Russia. Colton Walker from the great state of Wisconsin, one of our youngest competitors today. Eyes on the box jump, so many box jump variations. Backflip tail with a late bar spin, showing you the downside double tail whip. There's the flare with a tail whip, doing a flare with a bar spin. He's got it all right here. And then check out this final trick. Eyes on that box jump. Tail whip while throwing the bars, climbs on board and throws a late bar spin. One of only a handful of guys to ever do that trick. Check out how technical that is. Catches, climbs on board, and a late bar spin. Good job from Colton Walker.
Todd Harris joined by the Honorable Chris Doyle. Let's get a closer look at this massive course as Sebastian Keep and Drew Bezanson take us along on the course preview.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Keep.
And I'm Drew Bezanson, and this is your course preview. Check it out. We're gonna drop in on the quarter in the corner, over the little step down box, over another little box jump with a satellite in the middle, over the step up. A lot of nose long tricks gonna happen there. This is the rail section. Cruising on down, got the crazy centerpiece that Nate Wessel designed. We have the vert wall where you're gonna be getting most of your speed for the box jump. This is the box jump where you're gonna see most of your big aerial tricks. And then we roll up into all kinds of crazy designs. That little bowl corner, jump back down into the quarter. We're gonna cruise over the box jump backwards and go back over to where we started. This is one of the most creative courses we've seen to date, and it's gonna be a good finals.
And our thanks to Sebastian and Drew for that course setup. As we take a look at the lineup for Heat 4, Gary Young, Pat Casey, Jack Clark, and Maxime Chavron of France.
An absolutely stacked heat and an absolutely stacked contest here today.
And there he is, the 31-year-old out of San Diego, California, Gary Young, now on the clock on this amazing course. And Chris, as a BMX rider, you got to appreciate all the options these guys have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Gary Young is gonna use just about every option that this course has today. He likes to go fast, the throttle is always pinned, and he uses the course in ways that other riders simply can't. Look at that, power wheeling across the course, into the quarter, coming out of the vert wall, big alley-oop onto the stage. He's already made one complete lap of the course already. 360 transfer, carving the bowl corners, 180 crooked grind, looking like he wanted a little bit more out of that. Just trying to keep the flow going right here, right back into the course, cranking. Like I said, throttle is always pinned. Tail up into the vert wall, eyes on the box jump, 360 one-handed table, classic trick from Gary Young right there. 270 look back, that's an opposite way to spin for him. Tooth hanger to 180, a nice complete run for Gary so far.
Well, you don't come all the way from San Diego to Estonia and not make the most of this course, and that's exactly what Gary Young's doing, going for everything. And you watch how fast he works.
Yes, always. I don't know how he still has energy. Opposite 270, nose wheelie over the blocks, tail whip on the wave, That is a good way to end a run from Gary Young. Risky to do that nose wheelie. If you drop that back wheel, you're going over those bars.
A full pole for Gary Young, 31 years of age, as we said, from San Diego, California. And now we get a good look at the man set to drop in next. Out of Placentia, California, just 21, this is Pat Casey.
Yes, sir. Pat Casey has a yard full of ramps, full of trails. He recently graced the cover of Ride BMX magazine. There's that 360 with a downside tail whip. Awkward looking 360 on the step up. Maybe wanted a little something different there. Downside, opposite tail whip for Pat. Although he does tail whips both ways perfectly. I don't know if he even has an opposite way anymore. Eyes on that box jump. 360 bar spin, double tail whip.
Whoa!
Oh, and he just comes out of the back there. Looks like he rocked his head a little bit, but he is up. Looks like he's gonna complete his run.
So Casey, who was on the podium last year at Simple Session, looking for a little bit more.
Just comes right back in with a huge flare. The power of being young, you just get right back. You keep it going. Pocket tail whip on the vert quarter. Little bit of a bobble on the box jump. I know he's got more in his arsenal. I'm sure he wants to come back strong and run number 2. Unfortunate with that fall right there.
2013 Red Bull Dreamline champion, Pat Casey, the 21-year-old, still going strong here, but one fall, and with the talent that we have here, Chris, one fall could spell disaster.
Yeah, exactly. And with this many competitors, it's tough to continue a run like that.
So Jack Clark is up next, young man out of Great Britain, the 20-year-old, set to drop in on his run here in heat number 4.
Folks at home, keep your eyes on his handlebars. He likes to do the bar spin. There's a bar spin, catch bar spin, 360 over the transition box. Bar spin to bar spin back, 180. He's already done 4 bar spins so far in his run, and he's just getting started. Hitting that box jump backwards. There's that bar catch bar 360 on the box backwards. Coming back to it. Superman C grab Indian air, classic trick. Shout out to TJ Lavin right there. Good to see kids that can do the hard tricks while respecting the classic tricks as well. Downside tail up on the wave, another bar spin over the wedge. Downside fast plant, just keeping the flow going. Bar spin on the hip, up and over the blocks. Downside toothpick bonk. Shout out to Dave Osato for doing that trick. Jack Clark's got a good run going right now. He's keeping the energy going. 450 with a bar spin. Flare.
Nice.
Bar spin. I don't know how he still has any energy left. Tooth hanger to end things off. Great run from Jack Clark.
So as the youngest man in heat number 4 at just 20 years of age, and Jack Clark with a fantastic run. He is absolutely gassed, but the fans appreciate it here in Estonia. So the last man to drop in heat number 4 from Lyon, France, Maxime Chauveron.
Yes, sir. Maxime Chauveron coming out of France. One of my favorite French bicycle riders right now. Really smooth, really talented, has a lot of style, a lot of flow. Showing you a big 270 into the vert wall. Pocket toboggan on the vert quarter. 360 downside
Nice.
tail whip. 270 with the tail going both directions. Up and into the step up. Maxime with an ice pick across the flat rail. Shoving the back wheel, making for a tail tap. Ice pick on back into the quarter. Super cool to see him do that trick. Toothpick 180, rolling it out, keeping the flow going. He's slowing down a little bit. It's the end of his run. These guys are gasping for breath.
Now, is this just his style, not maybe as aggressive as Gary Young as he comes off the pedals right there?
Yeah, Maxime is really casual. He likes to just get in a routine and to a flow, and it looks like he's having a little bit of difficulty getting into that right now. I mean, you partner the riding with the nightlife of Estonia, and it makes
Right.
things very difficult. Coming out of the back, unfortunate for Maxime, but he'll be back in run number 2.
So the 24-year-old is done. Heat 4 is complete. Great action. Plenty more from Heat 4. Run number 2 coming up next. Right now, we check in with Sal Masekela.
And when you think about major BMX events, Estonia, probably not the first place that came to your mind, probably not even on your list. But this small Eastern European country has a massive BMX and skate scene, and Simple Session is celebrating its 15th anniversary, bigger than ever. Hundreds of competitors from both skate and BMX descending upon Estonia every year. And with this unrivaled course design, thousands of rabid fans, and a very exciting nightlife, This is an event that no one wants to miss.
When you think of Talon, Estonia, you definitely don't think BMX, but they have one of the biggest BMX contests in the world.
We started in position in the year 2000. The scene was very, very small back then, and we didn't have anywhere to ride really, so we asked City for money and built our first skate park, and just wanted to do an opening event of it, and it just kept growing. More people came, the word of mouth just spreading, and at some point we did the live webcast, so you were able to watch it all over the world, and now the whole BMX and skate scene are here.
This year it's scaled back, but we still have a super creative design, thanks to Nate Wessel.
For this course, I probably put 350 hours just into the design. Hopefully I'm driving ramp progression, because there's always going to be riding progression, and so maybe when a guy comes in here, they can do, I've never even thought about doing this trick, but since that ramp exists now, I'm doing this on it. It's a course like no other. I just want to make crazy stuff all the time, and if only one thing happens out of like skateboarding or BMX on that thing that's crazy, that makes me happy. It's awesome. I've been doing it 9 years now, and it just gets me really pumped and excited to help out with it, and I hope to continue to do it.
As we return to heat number 4, remember it's Gary Young, Pat Casey, Jack Clark, and Maxime Chavron of France. So Gary Young, the 31-year-old, back up at it again. This is run number 2.
Yes, Gary Young back in there. Power wheeling across the course yet again. Big look back into the quarter. Huge alley-oop onto the stage. Transition box with a nice looking 360 tail whip. Feeling the flow. 360 nose block on up the step up. 180 crooked grind, 180 out. That's what he wanted on that first hit. Good to see him get it on the second run. Right back into the course, just lap after lap. Power wheeling. Throttle always pinned. The pride of San Diego. Tail whip into the vert quarter. Steezing out that truck driver on the box jump. Just looking good, Gary. Opposite 270, that's opposite form right there. Really hard to do. Cramming the front wheel into the back rail, just getting creative, just making it up as he goes. Right back across the course, head down, cranking, eyes on the box jump. 270 look back, again, that's opposite for Gary. Nose wheelie, hitting the wave. Great run from Gary Young right there.
Gold medal finishes at the BMX Worlds and the Metro Jam to go alongside his 2013 X Games gold medal in BMX Park. So Pat Casey, the 21-year-old out of California, remember, third place of the 2014 Simple Session, looking for a little bit more, and Pat looks very focused on this second run.
Yeah, Pat went down hard in that first run. He's gonna come back strong for run number 2. 540 bar spin on the step up, picture perfect. I think that's what he wanted in that first run too. Double peg, bar spin to flat. Downside, opposite tail whip. Looking good so far, Pat. All he needs to do is just hold it together. On the vert wall, eyes at that box jump. Corked out 360 with a tail whip. That's signature Pat Casey 3-whip style.
And Chris, he's getting some big tricks in early, which is kind of dangerous because if he goes down early, it almost scrubs your whole run.
Yeah, absolutely, but you gotta do the big tricks while you have the energy. There's that pocket tail up on the vert quarter. Bar spin up and over the box jump. Clean run for Pat so far, no-hander on the hip. Huge 360 to fakie on the quarter. Bar spin, waves to the crowd. That is a great run from Pat Casey.
Top to bottom, Pat Casey delivers on run number 2. Very impressive. Wow, the folks here in Estonia really appreciating his performance. As we move on to our next competitor, run number 2. This is heat number 4. Pat Casey complete. It is now all about the young man out of Great Britain, 20-year-old Jack Clark.
Like I said from run number 1, keep your eyes on his bar spins. He likes to throw those bars. In BMX, we call it having hot bars. He's got the hot hands, and he's gonna show you why. Bar spin and no-handed 360, opposite truck driver, and he lands with his bars backwards. Unfortunate that he has to stop the flow of his run early, but he's gonna get right back in there, foot plant on in.
Chris, how hard is it to follow up someone like Pat Casey when he just threw down knowing that Jack Clark has to come up there and try to match that because the fans were out of their seats for Casey?
You know what? It has its positives and negatives, showing you that 450 flare right there. Bar spin to bar spin. One thing, he feeds off Pat, but at the same time, it can also discourage you a little bit, but I don't think Jack Clark minds. He's gonna go out there and do his thing. Back on the vert wall, eyes on that box jump. That's 3 bar spins in a 360, triple truck driver. Absolutely insane, just handing those bars off one to the next. Downside toothpick. Going for the Gary Young nose wheelie there.
One final trick as the clock goes to 0 for Great Britain's Jack Clark, the 20-year-old, on his second run here in heat number 4. So that takes us down to the last man in heat number 4, all the way from Lyon, France, Maxime Chavron. He has seen what the other guys can do. The fans are all warmed up. No excuses now for him to go down and drop something special.
If it's one guy that doesn't care what anyone else is doing, it's Maxime Chavron from France. Does his own thing. Nice looking 270 tabletop into the vert wall. Toboggan. Truck driver. Catch bar spin. 270 with a tabletop. Looking classic so far. Like I said, Maxime is really, really casual in the way that he rides. Just slowing it down here. Ice pick grind across the flat rail. I think he might be a little bit spent at this point in the contest. He's just cruising out there, doing it for the people of Estonia today. Tooth hanger, 180 bar, and he just comes out of it. He still has time to get back up if he wants to pull that last trick. But like I said, these guys are tired. It's the end of the run. 60 seconds is a long time to be out there. Eyes on this hip. Bar spin 90. Coming in faking. He pulls it this time around. So impressive to do that at the end of your run like that.
So for Maxime, it is all about the best trick now. 2 runs complete, and there he has his issues one more time. But Chris, it all comes down to that best trick. What can he pull off for the fans here in Estonia? And to kick things off, 31-year-old Gary Young. Now, he had 2 good full pulls in his run in Heat 4. What do you think he's got here?
Well, Gary Young is always really creative. He uses what he knows how to do to his best potential. I can't wait to see what he has. Showing you a truck driver over the box jump. Eyeing up this gap here. Opposite truck driver transfer, so crazy. That is really hard. He did everything opposite. That's an opposite 360, opposite bar spin. Check him out. There's that opposite 3, opposite bar spin, catches it, lands a little low, but that can be forgiven because that's all opposite. If you throw a baseball with your right hand, try doing it just as good with your left hand, and you'll have some understanding of how hard that is right there.
So Gary Young going opposite in Estonia gets him a score of 82.80. So now he has to sit and wait and see what his other competitors can pull off, including this man, 21-year-old Pat Casey out of California.
Pat Casey has such a deep, deep bag of tricks. I'm really excited to see what he's got here for us today. Tail whip 540 just comes out of the back. I've never seen him do a tail whip 540 and land fakie like that. Just overcooked it a little bit on the landing. Let's see if he's gonna give it another attempt. Maybe get it on attempt number 2.
And are they letting the judges know prior to their run what the trick is going to be? Because as you look back on Gary Young's run, he had like 4 or 5 tricks in that.
Well, no, but the judges know, the crowd knows. They know what the hard trick is.
Right.
This is a very BMX educated crowd. The judges know what they're doing up there, and they're going to give Pat Casey as many attempts as he needs to pull this trick off right now. Up and over the transition box, eyes on that step up. There's that 540 tail coming in fake, and he just slides out a little bit. If he can learn from mistake number 1 and learn from mistake number 2, I bet you on attempt number 3.
You're calling it on 3.
I think 3rd time's the charm for Pat Casey here.
Right into it.
Up and over the transition box, just getting some speed. 540 tail
Yes.
fake, comes in fakie. Picture perfect from Pat Casey.
All right, let's look at it one more time. Pat Casey, 3rd time is in fact the charm here in Estonia. Gets it done.
Yeah, check it out. Spinning, has to do the tail whip, catch the pedals, pulls it around, comes in fakie, landing backwards, super hard, really difficult, and he does it so perfect. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done it before somewhere, because that just looks too good to be his first try, or first attempt on that one.
So his score an 80.80, and now he sits and waits, currently sitting in 4th place. Jack Clark next up out of South Benfleet, England.
Yeah, Jack Clark has a ton of tricks. Really interested to see what he's going to do here for best trick. He's done a lot in his runs already. I know he's got a heavy arsenal. He's really creative. Does that flare up and over the hipped out quarter right there. I don't know if that's what he wants for best trick. Maybe he's feeling something else out. Looks like he's circling the course, gonna take a look at a few more things. Pops out on the deck.
Kind of gives a shrug of the shoulders like, what do you think?
Yeah, he's talking it over with social media guru Aaron Ross right there. Maybe discussing a little bit about what he could do to lock up a best trick right here. Gonna give it another attempt, dropping on in. I'm wondering if he's gonna go back to that same obstacle that he just did the backflip over. Perhaps he has a little something else in mind. Up and on that quarter, gonna generate a little bit of speed right here. Going for a 180 bar over that hip right there, just has to step out of it. Doesn't seem to know what happened there. Maybe get another attempt at this, another crack. Signaling that he wants maybe one more. Take another go at this.
Yeah, why not? Drop from the sky on that one, completely off his line, and here we go one more time. Let's see if Jack Clark can stick this one.
Like I said, the power of being young. You just pop right back up, you get back on the deck, and you give it another shot. Thumbs up to the crowd, catching his breath. Gonna drop back in, maybe give this another go right here. The people of Estonia are loving it right now. There's that 180 bar. Oh, and he just comes out of the back again, rolling all over the blocks, cleaning up the floor. Great run from Jack Clark today. Good showing.
So Jack Clark, 82.60. We move on to the last man in heat number 4, Maxime Chavron of France. Now, he's seen what everyone else can do. The fans are all warmed up. He does have that laid-back French attitude, so does he unleash the hounds right here in best trick?
Well, I certainly hope so. He's got a lot of tricks right. Whoa! Showing you that 540 nose pick right there. Captain Casual just does things, makes it look easy. Look at that toe jam just for good measure. Coming right back into the course with a 180. He's just gonna hang out. Merci beaucoup.
Maxime Chavron of France. Probably not exactly what he was looking for, but, you know, blow a kiss to the crowd. Maybe it'll get him a couple extra points.
Yeah, check this out. That's that nose pick, 540 on the step up, coming in fakey, does it perfect. First try, no problem. Like I said, always casual, always fun to watch ride. Just goes out there and does his thing.
Well, his score of 77.80 moves into 7th place as we take a look at the standings after Heats 4. Colton Walker still on top with an 84. Andreev of Russia in 2nd. Gary Young in 3rd with the 82.80. And Jack Clark now sitting in 4th with an 82.60. Right now, let's send it over to Corbin Harris, who is standing by with Heat winner Gary Young.
Gary Young, you've been called the seasoned vet. Can you talk me through your whole run, please?
Entire run. Basically, like, just try to connect things. If you start off fast, then you can kind of just keep it going. That was my goal, and it worked out.
Why do BMXers keep on coming back to this contest specifically?
The vibe in Estonia, it's just like no other. They have awesome parties for the riders to get loose at, and just the energy, like, inside the building. Like, all the riders are pushing each other to do harder stuff. Kevin Peraza, Larry Edgar, they're coming up, and I can't wait to see what kind of phenomenal stuff they're about to unleash on the world.
Gary, congratulations on your result.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
Well, Simple Session is unique in that it is both a skateboard and BMX competition, but it presents some challenges for designers who need to create the best possible course for both disciplines and athletes. The field of skaters was truly from around the globe, Corbin, and they came here all looking to lay down the best session, an opportunity to get out there and throw down, really express themselves on this amazing course.
Yes, this is an amazing course. Not quite what they're used to. Some of them are used to a lot of street and rails and stairs, but this guy here, Igor Kaldakov, in 3rd position, coming out of Russia. A lot of technical tricks on the rail, working his way around. It might have been his downfall in some ways that he didn't hit so much transition. There's a kickflip up the Euro gap, pushing around the course, a backside flip, straight into a no comply to disaster. Huge frontside feeble down the large handrail there. and 270 no comply lip slide, something I haven't seen before.
The Russian would end up in third with an 84.20. How about second place, Danny Leon from Madrid, Spain, 85.40.
Yes, the 20-year-old ripped around with speed. Frontside board slide. Frontside blunt just there. Trying to get a quick push in between each trick. Holding his speed. And that's what you really need in a course like this. It's a large course. 50-50 over the little rainbow box there into a frontside stale fish. Really trying to keep the speed up around the course. Sal flip to Decker. And this is his big one. Up the vert wall. You can see how big it is there. Straight into a backflip. Claiming it out to the crowd as he rounds out with a backside 360.
Well, the young man of the hour, and I mean young, 15 years of age, out of Lyon, France, Robin Bouillon.
Yes, Todd, 15 years old. He was the youngest in the competition, and look at the tricks that he's putting together. A backside 360 straight into a backside 540. Boneless there. Getting around the course with technical tricks like this and also doing some of the biggest maneuvers. Gap over, straight into a lip slide. Huge melon over the box. Just holding on for dear life there with all that speed. And here is one of the tricks that no one else did in the whole competition, only the BMXers. Backside ollie into the vert wall, and that sealed the deal for Robin Bouillon.
So the final standings in skate, Bouillon of France gets the win, Lyon of Spain second, and Kaldakov of Russia in third. Our thanks to Corbin Harris, an incredible venue here for both skate and BMX, as we head back to our BMX Park finals and heat number 5. Todd Harris, Chris Doyle, and Corbin Harris with you. Here's the lineup for heat number 5, and it's a good one. Alex Colburn, Devin Smiley, Nick Bruce, and Kevin Peraza.
Yet another stacked group of individuals right here.
And it's going to be Alex Colburn who's going to get things started off, the 22-year-old out of Great Britain, set to drop in.
Colburn floods my Instagram feed with 15 seconds of fury just about every single day. He is going to unleash. Corked out backflip. Tail whip transfer right there. First guy we've seen really do that transfer nice and high. Keeping the flow going. Huge 360 over the box backwards. Eyes on the box jump.
Wow.
720 with a bar spin. No way. Alex Colburn is on fire. 360 double whip transfer. Wow, he is on fire right now. Toothpick hanger. Feeling the flow. Just working the course right now. Absolutely stunning.
Chris, you talked about what the judges are looking for, and you look on your list, number 6, amplitude, and Colburn certainly has it here on this run.
Whoa, hang on to it there, Alex. Yeah, he's got it all, and he's just showing you in this run that he can do just about everything there is to do. There's a flare with an opposite tail whip, slips a little bit of a pedal, keeps the momentum going, bar spin, catch bar spin on the hip. I don't know how these guys have so much energy. Flare on the wave, just winding things down right here. Over ice pick, classic spine trick right there. Great showing from Alex Colburn.
A lot of action from Alex there in his 60-second run. Remember, 2 runs plus best trick here in heat number 5. As he goes and gets a well-deserved rest, we move on to our next competitor out of Suwanee, Georgia. This is 20-year-old Devin Smiley.
Yes, Devin Smiley is a technical wizard. I'm gonna let you know at home, some of the stuff that he does may not look as difficult as some of the high-flying box jump tricks, but trust me, the stuff this guy does is so difficult, and he does it with pinpoint precision. He looks really good out there. He's always super, super casual. He's got a do-rag on his head right now. Check this out. 180, 540 on into the wedge. That's how you start a run. Like I said, technical tricks all the way through, showing you the crank arm stall right there. Just feeling the flow right now. Up, double peg, suicide no-hander. Balancing on that free coaster right there. A little bit of a backwards manual almost.
Chris, how much of this is choreographed, meaning he scripted this, knows exactly what he wants to do on every hit? How much of it is just improvising?
Well, with Devin, you never know. He could be improvising for all I know. He could have had this planned for weeks. I'm not sure. Devin is just always really calculated, really dialed. Just did that hard way 180 to backwards peg grind. And like I said, he's virtually flawless. I mean, he knows what he's doing out there. That's an opposite toothpick to bar spin. just looking good, feeling good. Everything is done the way it should be done, and Devin looks really good right now. I don't know how to judge this against all the crazy box jump tricks that we see, but trust me, the judges know that this stuff is really, really difficult. Bar spin the tail tap, eyes on the big rail, 180 crooked grind. Oh, and he just comes out. Devin had such a good run going right there.
At the end of his 60 seconds of run number 1 here in Heat 5, Devin Smiley comes unglued, but I'll tell you what, he put a lot into the first 55 seconds.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're gonna fall, you wanna fall at the end.
Nick Bruce out of Youngstown, Ohio, just 22 years of age. He will follow up Smiley here in Heat number 5. 2 runs plus best trick. Do you save anything? I mean, these guys are coming out firing right off the very first trick, but do you save something for that best trick section?
Absolutely not. You go out there guns blazing. He's already in there. He's the flare drop in on one of the smaller quarters on the course. That is super impressive. Corked out 720, getting upside down, corked out backflip. Nick Bruce, our Buckeye here today, coming out of Ohio, just doing it for all his friends back in Youngstown. Cranking across that course. Big double tail whip into the quarter pipe right there, back on the vert wall. Just flowing around this course, looking effortless, looking easy. He's a big guy, he's a tough kid, he's just really, really good. That's a flare with an opposite tail whip. Downside, like I said, I don't think he has a regular direction in the tail whip. He just does things both ways really, really easy. There's that 360 tail whip. Looked like he wanted a little bit more after that. Classic looking 270 invert, up and over. Ends it with the little bar spin right there. And a flare on one of the smaller quarters on the course.
Maybe the most explosive start to any run we've seen so far here in Estonia, as American Nick Bruce with a great run here, run number 1 of 2 in Heat number 5. Well, one of the names in the BMX circle that brings everyone to a standstill when he drops in, Kevin Peraza, 20-year-old out of Tucson, Arizona, now in Estonia, big smile on his face, ready to go because he knows this is a blank canvas for a guy like Kevin Peraza. He will go out here and just absolutely blow minds on what he can do on his bike.
Oh, absolutely, Todd. He is one of the leaders of the new school of contest bike riders. This guy is really good. He's really precise. He's got tons of style. Superman seat grab, classic trick right there. 270 table, just showing you all the classics. 360 with a downside tail up over the transition box. Tail whipping on into the vert ramp, fighting it a little bit right there. Carving these bowl corners, just feeling that flow. 180 with a bar, tail whip on down the box jump. First guy we've seen use the box jumps like that today. Brakeless nose pick. He is on fire right now. Check that out, 450 coming in fakey with a bar spin. Solid flare, Kevin is on fire right now. Kevin comes from a BMX background. His dad used to ride, both of his brothers ride. Going for the downside tail up to fakie, and he just comes out of the back.
So the 2013 Simple Session champion and 2014 Red Bull Dirt Conquers champion, Kevin Peraza, run number 1. I tell you what, that was amazing. Alongside Chris Doyle, I'm Todd Harris. We are in our finals, and Heat 5 just getting ready for their second runs. Alex Colborn of Great Britain will kick things off. He had a great first run to start things off for the competitors here in Heat 5.
He absolutely threw down in that first run, Todd. I'm excited to see what he has for run number 2. He's got a good one in the bag already. Bar spin to bar spin truck driver, sending the front flip up that step up right there. Already off to a great start. I think Alex wants a top 3 finish right here, and he's definitely showing us. Back to that box jump. 360 triple tail whip, absolutely flawless. 270 with a downside whip, and he blows a tire. Oh man, unfortunate for Alex right there. He's got to get that fixed up and hopefully come back later on to finish out that run.
An untimely flat for Colborn, but what he was doing out on that course, really, it's got to come as no surprise. The amplitude and the punishing he was putting on that bike, that was amazing.
Yeah, he had a great run going, but you know what? He's got a chance to fix that. He's going to come back and he's going to finish out the 36 seconds that he has left.
While he gets the repairs done, we move on to Devin Smiley out of Georgia. Now remember, Smiley had a great run, 55 seconds into the 60. He was absolutely crushing it, and then he came unglued from the bike. We'll see if he can clean that up and get a full pull.
Like I said, technical wizard, losing his do-rag early in the run. I hope that doesn't affect him too much. There's that over toothpick. Looking good so far, Devin. just keeping that flow going. There's a crank arm grind to bar spin. Really confusing me on that one. Tail tap on up. This guy, he makes it look easy, but trust me, guys, this is really, really difficult. 180 bar spin with a lot of style, keeping it casual. Check this out. Flat rail technician, hard 180, backwards pegs, 180s right back out. Keeping his flow going. There's that over tooth to 180. He's virtually flawless so far. Just running his hands through that hair, keeping the flow going, showing you the tail up on the flat wedge right there. Devin looks really good out there. Smart rider, improvises all the time. At 180, manual to 180. What is he doing here? Fakey bar spin on in, just making it up as he goes. Super impressive from Devin Smiley.
And he does it all sans headgear. Remember, he loses his hat and his do-rag in the first 10 seconds of the run. No problem there. Comes on and absolutely throws out a cooker here on his second run. So from Smiley, we move on to Nick Bruce out of Youngstown, Ohio. He had maybe one of the most impressive first runs of the entire group in heat number 5 because it was so full of amplitude, got the fans out of their seats.
Oh, yeah, he's a relatively newcomer to the BMX park scene right now. Going for that front flip onto the stage, just lands a little low, missing the transition. It's hard to fall at the beginning of your run and then to get back up and get the confidence to keep going. Bruce is gonna do what he's gotta do, showing you the technical tricks right there. That's a toe jam with the tail whip. Corking out that backflip over the transition box, 180 tail whip, up the step up. Even though he fell, he's already got some good things in his run so far.
Is that a major deduction when you take a fall like that early on?
In a contest like this, yes it is. Unfortunate for Nick, but you know what? He's going out there, he's gonna do it for the people of Estonia. Hopefully get a few more points added to his score. Downside tail up on that wave.
Remember, he's still got the best trick to go. Nick Bruce with a great run here after an early fall. Nice recovery.
Oh yeah, it's a great recovery. He's done a lot of really awesome tricks so far. He just showed you that flare with the tail whip. That's his regular tail whip. He did it opposite in his first run. So he's just gonna salute the crowd, hopefully come back strong for the best trick contest.
60 seconds complete for the American Nick Bruce. First run, obviously much better. As we move on to Kevin Peraza. Now, Peraza had a sensational first run of 2. Now, gonna see if he can put it all together here and maybe slam the door on the rest of the guys here in heat 5.
Sensational is a good way to describe that first run. He absolutely came out and crushed it. Got that first run under his belt, just carving the vert wall right back in there. 360 unlook back right there. Shout out to Mike Aiken, dragging the foot early in the run. So far, I gotta say, his run 1 was better than run 2 so far. 360 downside tail up. That trick is absolutely no big deal for Kevin Peraza.
Look at the speed it's working at.
Yeah, he slipped another little pedal right there. Unfortunate for him. There's that opposite tail 90 onto the box jump. He uses that. He's the only guy we see using the box jump like that here. Eyes on this transition box with a 540. Comes in fakey first try like it's no big deal. Wow, Kevin Peraza. That takes, not only does that take a lot of skill, that takes a ton of confidence just to throw a 540 over a box jump in your run like that, to come in fakey and just keep it rolling. Wow, Peraza's on a whole other level and he is stoked right now.
Now that 540 could have been something he could have used in the best trick competition. It was so impressive. We'll see if the judges respond, but Peraza is stoked with that. Now remember, Alex Colborn blew out a tire in the middle of his run, so he's got 36 seconds left of his second run. That's when he's got the flat. And Chris, you know Alex Colborn, he can do a lot in 36 seconds.
I guarantee you this is gonna be 30 seconds of fury from Alex Colborn. Just setting up, eyes on that box jump. Gets a lot of speed on the vert wall, nice and high, coming in hot. Corked out backflip, tail whip, look kind of like a 360, was a little bit sideways, 270 with a tail whip, late bar spin. Like I said, Colborn can throw it down in a very short amount of time. He's looking a little bit tired out there. I mean, it's a long time for these guys to be going. It's a long contest. Bar spin, ice pick. Toothpick to bar spin in, super technical, just catching his breath on the most technical tricks right there. And a corked out 900. Oh my gosh, Colborn is just full of surprise after surprise. That was incredible.
And the tire stays inflated, so Colborn's 36-second abbreviated second run has now come to a conclusion, and it's now down to best trick. Going to kick things off with Devin Smiley, who has retrieved his hat and do-rag, so we'll see if that is the lucky charm. But His second run was so good, he might not need it.
Really excited to see what he has for best trick. He's super original, very technical, always has something new. Look at this.
Oh!
Fakie on into that quarter. He has to clear that curb from up top. Coming in fakie. Wow, that was a hard slam, too. I hope he's all right after that one.
You want to talk about high risk, high reward. He lands that and rides out of it. The judges are going to be out of their seat. He's making sure that everything's still working well.
Oh, absolutely. That foot's been bothering him for a little while now. He slammed it down, probably has a little bit of a bruised heel going right now. I say a little bit, it's probably a lot. That was a big drop.
All right, here's a question. Does he try that trick again?
I mean, he's back up on that deck. I have a feeling he's going to go for it yet again. Maybe learn from the mistake that he made there and correct it on his next attempt.
All right, he needs an 84 to move into first place.
Okay, he's up, he's poised, he's ready. That foot is sore, but you know what? He's going to do it for the people of Estonia today. Hopefully get a good score under his belt. And here it is. 180. Fakie. And a bar spin into the corner, and he rides it out super clean. Wow, unbelievable. To come in fakie, clear that curb, throw the bars on into the transition, and then to roll it out, that was really impressive.
And that's after a hard fall, too. So Devin Smiley with a fantastic recovery. Let's look at it one more time.
Oh, here it is. Check it out. Has to clear that curb right there. Throwing the bars, just getting that front wheel over. Wow. So technical, so dangerous, and very, very hard.
Look how he spots his landing, too. Look at this. Never looks back.
So close. Picture perfect. It's not going to get much better than that. Awesome job from Devin Smiley.
And his score comes in. Remember, he needed an 84 to move into first. He gets an 86.60. So Devin Smiley has moved into first place.
So at home, take note, it's not all about the high-flying tricks. You know, you can be technical, you can keep it a little lower to the ground and still have a lot of success out here today.
So here's Nick Bruce. After watching Devin Smiley pull that off, he's thinking, okay, I got to do something to get this Estonian fans up on their feet for me.
Going big on the box jump. Oh, and he elbow drops the front of that bike.
Clips the front end.
You know what? I have no idea what he was trying right there. It looked like a backflip. That was an opposite tail whip. Gary Young and Aaron Ross come out to help him get his bike situated. Let's check this out one more time on the replay. Just charging the box. Going upside down, throws an opposite tail up and just loses the back end of the bike, comes down hard, elbow drops from what looked to be like 20 feet. He's up. Like I said, he's a tough kid.
So Nick Bruce, this is attempt number 2 on best trick.
I would love to see him pull this because I want to see what exactly it actually is. Just charging this box jump. There it is again, going upside down. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, the bike was just going everywhere. Looked like an opposite tail whip. Partial decade, just got upside down and then just got lost in the air.
He's going to give a little longer thought about making a third attempt on this one. Nick Bruce going to shut it down, and for good reason. He is favoring that left arm. He took a wicked beating on not one but 2 attempts here in best trick. His score is going to come in as an 85, so Nick Bruce, despite the fall, does move into second place, and the fans here in Estonia appreciating the effort.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, he will live to fight another day.
Kevin Peraza now in a great position, the 20-year-old out of Arizona.
He's done so much in this contest already. I'm really excited to see what he has for best trick. Back on this transition box. Downside tail at 540, and it almost just pulls it. How are you going to do something like that first try?
Oh, that happened so fast.
That was unbelievable. He almost pulled it. Just had to step off the bike. He got whipped around there. Coming back in, going to give it another shot. There's that downside whip, 540. Coming out again.
Wow.
He is not that far off from pulling this trick.
So the question is, Peraza going to go for it another time, or is he going to call it good, knowing that he had 2 great runs in his heat runs here in heat number 5?
Well, Peraza did take a really heavy slam last year at last year's simple session. So, I mean, I've seen him ride hundreds of times. I've seen him take slams. He's a tough kid, but it's looking to me like he's going to get up, give it another go for the people of Estonia here today. Catch his breath a little bit. Get a little inspiration from Alex Colborn. And it's looking like he's back in there. Gonna give this one another go.
Going for the encore.
Onto that transition box. There's that downside tilt coming in. Oh, and he has to bail out. He looks to be okay.
Kevin says 3 times, not the charm this time, so Peraza will shut it down. And his score does come in, though, an 88.20. He moves into first place.
Yeah, you see, this was the first attempt. Almost had it, just got whipped around by the bike right there. And I think even he was a little bit surprised by that one. Here's attempt number 2, just slides out of the side of it. And by this point in the contest, you guys are so tired. Has to bail out on attempt number 3. He looks to be okay. You live to fight another day, but a great showing from Kevin Peraza.
So Alex Colburn, who was cheering on Peraza to go for it on that 3rd attempt, is now up. Best trick. Peraza is your leader with an 88.20 after 2 runs and best trick. Now it is the final showing for Alex Colburn out of Great Britain.
I can only imagine what Alex Colburn has for us here today because he has such a deep bag of tricks. He can do just about every trick there is out there. I mean, I don't know exactly what he was looking for right there. It looked like he was going to try and catch that back peg. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe do a little bit of a 270 bar spin to ice pick. Not exactly sure what Colburn has. Like I said, he's really technical. You know, this is pretty mellow for Colburn.
Yeah, I was going to say, not a lot of sizzle with this trick guy that usually throws down some amazing stuff during his runs.
Don't get it wrong. This is a hard trick. But Colburn has just about every jumping maneuver you could possibly imagine. So I think this is actually a little bit tame for Alex.
Here it is one more time.
Check it out. Here's the 270 with the bar, catching that ice pick, pulls it back over. That's a classic spine trick. You see guys like Josh Harrington and Joe Rich did that back in the day. Really, really technical, but I gotta say, it's a little bit tame for a guy like Alex Colburn.
So after best trick, Alex Colburn's score comes in as an 87.80. That moves him into 2nd place. As we take a look at the current standings after 5 heats, it's Kevin Peraza on top, Alex Colburn, Devin Smiley, Nick Bruce, and Colton Walker. Right now we check in with Corbin Harris, who's standing by with our heat winner.
Standing right next to me is Kevin Peraza. Unbelievable runs linking all these lines together. In 2013, you won this contest. Last year, you came back. You were riding so well. You ended up doing a front flip and crashing. Did that make you hungrier this year?
No, man. Instead of making me hungry to come back hard, it almost made me realize how fun BMX is and how you shouldn't take it so serious, because crashes like that can just ruin a week, you know? Like, thank God nothing happened. You know, I was blessed to walk away from that fall last year. Just to come back this year and ride my best, the best I could, and have a great time. Like, whether I win or lose today, I'm already walking home safely. So I'm psyched, you know, it's good.
Well, good luck, and I hope you hold that 1st place.
For sure, man. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Corbin. Our final heat is next, including 4-time winner and #1 qualifier, Drew Bezanson. Right now, we check in with Sal Masekela.
Drew Bezanson, 25 years old, only started riding BMX bikes at the age of 11. That is a relatively short career, but he has dominated the BMX park scene in one simple session 4 times. That's each time he's entered. 3-peating in 2010 through 2012, but due to an injury in 2013, he was forced to sit out, but came back again last year and won. He is the rider to beat. Not only one of the most creative riders that you'll see on this course, but Drew, he likes to go big.
I first started out with motocross racing before BMX. It was something that I really wanted to do as a kid, and for my 8th birthday, my dad got me a dirt bike, and it all started from there. And I kind of transitioned more into BMX when I was 11. It was at that age where I needed something to do more after school than just hang out. So, and BMX was the next best thing for me because I could do it whenever and wherever, and I didn't need my parents to drive me to the track. Having a motocross background and then transitioning into BMX, I think it's definitely helped me for riding bigger obstacles and just being comfortable jumping bigger stuff.
Defending 4-time simple session champion, Drew Bezanson!
I definitely feel the pressure, but at the same time, it's from nobody else. It's just the pressure that I put on myself. Especially when I've done well at it the year before, I always want to do just as well or better than I have in years past, and I definitely don't want to go home with a 2nd or 3rd. My upcoming goals for 2015, obviously do well here at Simple Session, and then later on in the year, I'm working on a few projects that I've been putting together just for myself, like really push my boundaries and see what I can do on a BMX bike. This year's got a lot of exciting things I'm looking forward to, and it's gonna be a good year.
So here we go. We're down to our final heat. It'll be heat number 6. Current standings look like this. Kevin Peraza's out in front, followed by Alex Colburn and Devin Smiley. But heat 6, Chris Doyle is impressive. Murders Row, the Battle of North America. You've got Ryan Nyquist, Mike Varga, Larry Edgar, and Drew Bezanson, the 4-time champion, getting set. Remember, they get 2 runs plus best trick. Before we get to the action, let's check in with Corbin Harris, who is standing by with the 4-time champ.
Let's talk about your entrance. Yesterday in the qualifying, it was pretty damn good. What do you got today?
I'm gonna come in the same way. It would be rude if I didn't. But I got some other stuff. Last trick, I'm looking forward to it. I've actually never done it, but with the talent energy, it makes magic, so stoked.
Can you hint what it is at all?
That'd be rude.
All right, I'm gonna leave it with you.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Those Canadians are just so polite. Remember, Heat 6, the final heat, is coming up. Right now, we check in with Sal Masekela.
Thank you, Todd. I bet many of you did not know where Estonia was before tuning into this program. You probably had to look it up on a map, but if you own a map, you're old, so you probably Googled it. Regardless, did you know that Estonia not only has a rich history, but is described as one of the most tech-savvy and wired countries in the world? Why not reach out and engage in this wired people and its culture? Strike up a conversation. You can do so by engaging the Red Bull Signature Series on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can go to redbullsignatureseries.com where we make special content just for you. You can also download the Red Bull TV app and watch this show and every episode of the SIG series ever made. You're welcome.
This is 36-year-old young Ryan Nyquist out of Los Gatos.
This is the Battle of North America right here. We have Ryan Nyquist set to drop in. If we spent enough time talking about all of his accomplishments in BMX, it would take up our entire show. But it's all about what's happening now, what's about to happen on the course. He's gonna unleash. He's got the X Games golds, he's got the Dew Cups, he's won countless contests. Right. The only rider here with an SB on his mantle at home. Eyes on the box jump. Backflip, double bar spin. 270, double bar spin, letting the bars fly, squeezing that seat with his knees. Rocket no-hander, the only rider you're gonna be seen doing that today. Right back into the vert wall. Eyeing it up here. Oh, steps off of the 720, and his bike went over the back. He's gonna get his bike back, resume his run. I've seen Nyquist fall, get up, and still have a winning run score. He's the only guy I've ever seen do it.
The pace at which he works at for a 36-year-old guy, absolutely amazing. Nyquist, still a little more time to go.
Yeah, he's very conditioned. He's just gonna get up, finish his run, up and over the box backwards, on the vert wall, right back to the box jump. Rocket no-handed 360. Like I said, these are tricks you're only gonna see Ryan Nyquist do. He's doing tricks that we haven't seen anyone else do today. He's got an exclusive bag of tricks. Very uncharacteristic of him to fall early in the run like that, but you know what? He raises the roof, and he salutes the crowd. He'll be back for run number 2.
2 runs, 60 seconds each, and of course, the best trick, something that everyone's gonna wanna see what Ryan Nyquist throws down in his best trick portion of this competition. But he has an early get-off, gets back on the bike, rides it out. So the 4-time X Games gold medals will sit and wait as we move on now to Canada's Mike Varga, just 18 years of age, really coming up big time in the sport.
He's only 18 years old, but he rides like a man. This guy knows what it's all about. He spins to win. Keep an eye on how good he is on his rotations. He's really calculated, really dialed, coming to us from Canada. Corked out 720, picture perfect. Superman seat grab up the step up, another classic trick. Got to give a shout out to TJ Lavin on that one. Cranking back across the course, up on the vert wall. Gonna send it on the box jump here. 360 double tail whip, late bar spin. And then corks out an 810 on the hip, just overcooks it a little and just keeps the run going. Truck driver over the transition box, front flip. Oh, and he loses a hand right there. That's the only time he's messed up in this entire run. Had such a good run going up until that point. He didn't technically fall off of his bike like that, but look at that, just a 450 truck driver, keeping it casual.
You know what's so impressive about this event is you've got the 36-year-old Ryan Nyquist out there throwing it down, and then you've got a guy half his age coming up right behind him with a phenomenal run.
Oh, absolutely. All these guys have looked up to Nyquist their entire lives. They're psyched to be out here in a contest with Ryan Nyquist, and I know that Mike Vargas psyched, and I know he's stoked on that run. A little bit of a bobble, but we'll see if that hurts him or not.
So 2 Canadians, 2 Americans in this final heat as we move on to Larry Edgar out of Murrieta, California, 21 years of age, dropping in on his first of 2 runs before we get to the best trick.
This is little Larry Edgar. Great racer, great street rider, good park rider. This kid can do it all. He spends a lot of time in the air. He likes to blast. Huge flare. Cranking right back across the course. Into the vert wall. Eyeing up the box jump. Huge 360 look back. That's an opposite 360 for him. Double downside tail whip. Larry is really cruising right now. I think he has springs in his legs because he just knows how to blast. He's not a tall guy, but he can really utilize every ramp to its max potential. Check this out. Big backflip invert, 360 invert. I don't even know. He was upside down, but that was absolutely huge.
Larry Edgar has some of the best air awareness in the business as he's just cooking this course here in Estonia. Remember, 60-second runs, you get 2 of them, and then the best trick.
Just winding on down, tuck no-hander to flat. Did so much in that run. Good run. Like I said, he doesn't do a lot of the technical tricks. He just likes to go big. And then, of course, he sends the flare on the smallest obstacle on the course. Super good run from Larry Edgar.
Give you an idea of how good the scores are so far. Kevin Perazza is your leader with an 88.20. And this is heat number 6, our final heat. Larry Edgar completing his first of 2 runs. So we move on now to the 4-time champion, the last man to drop in. Out of Nova Scotia, it's 25-year-old Drew Bezanson. As he told our Corbin Harris, he's got something special.
Well, Drew certainly likes to make an entrance. If you want to get the judges' attention, if you want to get the crowd's attention,
come on.
This is how you do it. Catwalking on out, ninja drop in, caveman style. Look at 360 turn down, just already on fire. Huge way to get the crowd's attention right there. Truck driver transfer. Drew is flying right now. Tooth hanger. Feeling the flow, just all over the course right now. As he got out of the vert wall. Huge turn down up onto the stage. First guy we've really seen use the vert wall like that. Corked out backflip, 360 nose bonk on the step up. So far, so good for Mr. Drew Bezanson. He's another guy that does a lot of classic tricks, but he makes it look good. Utilizes the course to its full potential. Ice pick on the vert wall. First guy we've seen do that. 360 knack-knack. First time we've seen him do that. A little slip of the pedals at the very end of his run. It was a good run. I don't know if it's the leading scoring run, but it was a great run from Drew Bezanson.
Now Nyquist getting set to drop in. We saw a slight bobble on run number 1, very uncharacteristic, and you see the focus that Ryan Nyquist has right now. This guy is a master. He knows how to win contests.
Yeah, eye of the tiger. He knows what it takes. He's going to do what he has to do to get a good score at this contest. Like I said, uncharacteristic on that first run. 360 triple bar spin. 270 one-handed X up. Wow, just letting those bars fly. Super impressive. There's that rocket bar spin on the transition box. Right back into the vert wall. This is where he had a little slip up in run number 1.
And he clips it again.
He steps off again. Even he can't believe it. I can't believe it. Like I said, when it's almost hard sometimes for Nyquist to mess up, and to see him do that twice is just unfortunate for Nyquist here today.
So Ryan Nyquist has 2 runs. They are both complete. He will now look to best trick after the rest of the heat competitors drop in on their second run. But wow, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be tough to catch Kevin Perazza with that kind of run. Perazza sits on top with an 88.20.
Well, Nyquist knows that he blew the run, and I think he's just going to do a little box jump demo for the people of Estonia here today. Check him out. No-footed can-can with a bar spin, just completely letting go of the bike while his body's in a no-footed can-can, salutes the crowd. You're welcome, Estonia. That was an absolute treat.
Ryan's like, I came all the way from Los Gatos. I might as well put on a show for these good folks here in Estonia, and what a great job he did as we move on to one of the two Canadians here in heat number 6. This is 18-year-old Mike Varga out of Oshawa, Ontario.
Yeah, you talk about putting on a show. Mike Varga is about to put on a show. If this run is anywhere as good as his first run was, we are in for a treat. Truck driver up the step up, getting the flow going. Mike Varga's got a deep, deep bag of tricks, cranking across the simple session course, up on the vert wall, eyes on that box jump. What's he got for us? Truck driver to downside tail whip. That's an opposite tail whip for him. 450 tail whip. He's just stomping trick after trick after trick, an absolute machine. Bar spin to bar spin, 360. Opting for the corked out backflip. Remember, he messed up on the front flip on the first run. Good to see him keep the flow going. Lots of style from Varga. Flare bar spin like it's nothing. Salutes the crowd. Great job from Mike Varga, coming to us from Canada.
So 2 runs, and now he sits and waits for the best trick portion here in heat number 6. But remember, Drew Bezanson still has one more run and a best trick. And how about the entrance that Drew Bezanson gave us on run number 1? So Mike Varga trying to match his fellow Canadian. Did he do enough to put himself on the podium here at Simple Session? 2 more competitors to go, and then it is on to best trick. We'll kick things off with Larry Edgar, the 21-year-old out of Murrieta, California.
Yes, sir, little Larry Edgar. So awesome to see him out here. I gotta think that this is his first ever international competition. Like I said before, he's been known as a racer, a park rider, a dirt jumper. The kid can do it all. He's really, really talented. He's young, and he is about to blast. Check him out right here. Huge Superman on the step up. Like I said, he loves to go big, a lot of classic tricks. Always going big, always cranking, full throttle, nice looking table on in. Just comes out of it a little bit right there, keeps the flow going. Cranking at this quarter right here, huge tabletop. That is what I like to see. Larry Edgar spends so much time in the air, showing you that huge tabletop out of the quarter. Right back to the box jump, another opposite 360. Looks like he wanted a little bit more in it. Classic one-footed table. I love the way this kid rides. He's super fun to watch.
So Larry Edgar with a very strong run here on run number 2 here in heat number 6. Nice flow. The judge is looking for a variety of things, but he has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he's got the hard tricks. He's got the height. He's got the style. You know, he's going to be a contender for years to come.
Larry Edgar is now complete here in Estonia. The fans absolutely loving it, and they have seen some fantastic riding today. When you've got the likes of Drew Bezanson, Ryan Nyquist, Larry Edgar, and of course Mike Varga in one heat, you're in for a great show. And that takes us to the last man to drop in on run number 2. It'll be the 4-time champion, Drew Bezanson. Does he do the same entrance he did on run number 1?
Well, taking a little bit more of a modest approach to enter on the second run. But you know what? This is going to be a treat because he did such a good first run. Maybe he'll roll the dice a little bit more in run number 2, try a few more different things. Check out that wall ride. Oh my gosh, that is so big. First rider we've seen attempt that wall ride here today.
So Bezanson pushing the limits of what's possible here in Estonia, and I think he's going to go back and set up and do it again.
Like I said, this isn't going to be his best run, but he's going to go for this wall ride again. He's going to do it for the people of Estonia. The people of Estonia have treated him good. He's going to treat them good, give him a little treat, give him a little show right here. I would love to see him get this wall ride. Full throttle. Hits the wall, pulls back all the way. That's like a 10-foot deck right there. So big. He drags the back wheel, but I'm not going to hold that against you, Drew. Showing you the flare. Big transfer. Just cruising through the second run. Knows that he did a lot in his first run. Nice looking Superman. Great showing from Drew Bezanson. Like I said, I think that first run score is going to be the one that sticks, and maybe he's putting some pressure on that last trick.
Trying some new things and putting on a great show for the fans here in Estonia. They appreciate it as they turn out in droves for Simple Session. Well, we have seen the best runs for the top 4 qualifiers, and now it's time to see what they have in store for the best trick. You get multiple attempts at it. The judges give a little bit of liberty here and there, but we've got 4 guys all attempting their very best trick, and this will be really bringing down the curtain here in Estonia. And what better way to start it off than our good friend Ryan Nyquist dropping in.
Nyquist has so many tricks. I can only imagine which one he's gonna pick for the best trick here today. Eyeing up that box jump. 720 with
Nice.
a double bar spin.
You knew there was going to be a bar spin in there.
Oh, absolutely. And he does bar spins the old-fashioned
Yep.
way. He squeezes the seat with his knees and he just lets those bars fly.
Ryan Nyquist at 36, absolutely blowing doors here in Estonia. Look at it one more time.
Check him out. Squeezes that seat with his knees, just letting the bars fly. That is the only 720 double truck driver you're gonna see here today. And he was the first one to ever do it too.
Ryan needs an 88.30 to move into first. He gets an 84.60, so Nyquist now sits in a top 5 position.
I gotta say, it was great to see the smile back on
There you
Nyquist's
go.
face. I know he was a little bit bummed with those first 2 runs.
Mike Varga now dropping in for his best trick. What does the 18-year-old have in store? The legend Nyquist just slayed it, now sits in 5th. And Varga looking for something special. He needs an 88.30 to move into first.
When you're a BMXer, age is just the number. Nyquist showing you how he does his thing. We're gonna see an 18-year-old do his thing right here. Charging this quarter.
Oh,
A 900 with a bar
Are you
spin.
kidding me?
Oh my gosh. He just did a 900 with a bar spin and he made it look easy.
No warm-up, no setup trick.
Folks at home, learn the name Mike Varga. You're gonna be hearing about this kid for years to come. Check it out, bar spin, pulls it around for a 900, spots the landing. He made that look incredibly, way too easy. Salutes the
Absolute,
crowd.
absolute money on the landing, too. He needed an 88.30 to move into first place. And Varga's gonna get a 90.40, so he now sits in first with just 2 competitors to go.
Absolutely incredible how easy and how casual he just made that look right there. He made it look like you and I could step on the course and do a 900 bar spin just like that.
Maybe you. So we just saw Mike Varga go into first place. He got a 90.40. That means Larry Edgar is going to need at least a 90.40 to move into first, with 2 competitors left to go, being Edgar and Drew Bezanson.
Well, I can guarantee, I don't know what trick he's gonna do, but I can guarantee you that Larry is going to blast right here. Triple tail whip, stomps it, feet on the pedals. And he's coming right back in for more. I think he's gonna give us another little treat right here. On the vert wall, eyeing up the box jump. 360, no-hander to tabletop. Absolutely a thing of beauty right there.
The question is, will it be enough? Remember, Edgar's going to need at least a 90.40 to move into first.
Well, yeah, I think he did that triple tail whip for the judges. I think he did the second trick, the 360 no-hander to table for the people. But check it out, here it is. 1, 2, 3 times around, sights the pedals, catches it clean, and just stomps it. Picture perfect from Larry Edgar. One more time for your viewing pleasure right here. 1, 2, 3, stomps those pedals. Great showing today from Larry Edgar.
His score, 87.80, so Larry Edgar will move into 4th place with 1 man left, and it just so happens to be the 4-time champion in Drew Bezanson out of Nova Scotia. The 25-year-old is going to need something special. He needs a 90.50 to move into first place, and why not get on top and make the insurers really nervous?
Bezanson is on his perch, salutes the crowd. He said this is something that he's never done before. He's gonna walk across that rail like a cat on a fence. And I think he's gonna mix something up with the caveman drop-in that he did in his first run. But I don't know. Lord only knows what he's about to do right here.
Corbin Harris couldn't get it out of him, so we're just going to let this play out. Our final competitor, Drew Bezanson, set to go.
Bezanson walking across the rail, in the judge's face, up there with the fans. Caveman drop-in.
Oh!
And he climbs on board and throws a bar spin. Are you kidding me? I have never seen anyone else do that. And he does it from the highest point in the building, dropping into the course. A hug from his fellow countrymen right there. So good to see that out of Drew Bezanson. Check it out. Original, technical, difficult, scary. Climbs on the bike, throws the bars into the vert wall. He's coming from like 30 feet up right there, and he is psyched on that. Check it out. Catches every bit of transition right in on the side. Wow, Drew Bezanson just shut it down right there.
He needs a 90.50 or higher to take the win.
I think it came down to those last tricks. I don't know what the judges have in store, but we are about to find out.
And he gets it done, a 91.60. He is now a 5-time champion of Simple Session.
Congratulations, Drew Bezanson, 5 times at this contest. Unreal.
As we take a look at your Red Bull signature moment, Drew Bezanson takes it here at Simple Session. After jaw-dropping entrances into the course during both qualifiers and final runs, Drew proved that he continues to be the rider to beat, going bigger than everyone else. Not only did he drop in from the judges' platform with his trademark caveman, he added a bar spin for good measure and finished it off with a 360 tail whip. On this, the 15th anniversary of Simple Session, Drew Bezanson takes home a record 5th title, one for each time he has competed here. Congratulations, Drew Bezanson, on today's win and earning the Red Bull signature moment. And he's standing by with Corbin Harris.
Thanks, guys. He smells like champagne. He is sticky, but he has 5 from 5 being here. Hey, you left it to the last moment. Talk me through it.
It was one of those tricks where coming down to my last trick at Simple Session, I've always looked forward to doing it, and so did I do this one. But this is the first time I've actually been nervous because I've never done it before. So it's one of those things that, like, if I'm gonna do it, this is the perfect time for it. The energy behind everybody, and it worked out. So I'm stoked to be in one piece.
Hey, so did Kevin push you to try and go bigger and better?
No. When I come to these things, I ride for myself. I try to only push myself. I'm not out there to do better than any of the other guys. I'm there to do my very best, and at the end of the day, I just want to put a good show on for everybody that makes my dream a reality.
Talk to me about that feeling. You say you love that feeling, and the last trick, of course.
Yeah, it's one of those feelings that you can only get when you're in a contest. It's like one of those things where you never second guess yourself, and it's just time to go. You just do it, and usually it works out because you're 110% committed. You never have that second guess, and there's no better time to do it than on the main stage.
And the caveman bar spin off the highest point.
I'm stoked it worked. I've never really done it before, and like I just knew that I had the time, and when you're in this situation, like magic can happen.
5 from 5, Drew, congratulations again.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
So the final results, Drew Bezanson gets his 5th Simple Session title, followed by Mike Varga and Kevin Perazza. Chris Doyle, an amazing event.
Yeah, the pressure was on, but he makes it 5 times at the Simple Session. Great job, Drew Bezanson.
And with that, we check in with Sal.
Thank you, Todd. Good times today, and thanks to all of you for joining us at 2015 Simple Session. You know, sometimes you have to go the distance to witness the very best progression of action sports. Today, that distance was an Eastern European country called Estonia, and it delivered incredible performances today. Congratulations to that guy, Drew Bezanson, capturing his 5th win in 6 years, and to his fellow Canadian Mike Varga and Kevin Perazza of Mexico, rounding out the podium. We will see you next time.